Hello, everybody, and welcome along to the League One edition of Dearly Departed, the lovely show where we don't look at the clever teams that got promoted out of the Championship. We look at those silly teams that managed to get relegated out of it, and we're going to talk with League One connoisseur, expert, guru. I don't like being called an expert. That's not people pick you up on that. We'll call him Guru Knappers. But for goodness' sake, you've heard about people training injured and playing hurt. Knappers has COVID as we speak, and he's still doing the show, the crazy man. So first of all, thank you for that. And more importantly than any of the football, how are you feeling?
Honestly, the first day I had it was horrific. I thought watching Fleetwood was bad at times, but that was probably just as bad. And no, I'm feeling a little bit better today. You know, day by day you get stronger. A lot of my mates going, I just think it's a fix just to get out of going to Plymouth away. Just before the longest away day of the season. But no, I'm all good. I'm happy to talk about football because, like I say, it's horrible not being doing content. You feel so lazy. I hate it. So I can't wait to be back and can't wait to be speaking to you about football again.
Oh, my God. It's real, guys. Let's not go medical or political, but he's had both jabs and he's still feeling horrible. So this thing hasn't gone away like people think it might have. Hello to everybody in the chat. Get your comments in, get your questions in. Mark, do you know what, Mark? You're actually about to appear in the show and you don't know you are because Bits Knappers has decided to he's gone God tier on Patreon now. So we do have a sponsor now. Oh, damn. Hang on a minute. I just redid the picture. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds. I redid the picture. Mark's actually in the picture. And Bits asked me to redo it because he wanted to look like he got some friends. There you go. There he is. So Bits is sponsoring our Dearly Departed League One show this year. Follower of Ipswich for 40 plus years, over land and sea, and Norwich, as the song goes. That's before any Norwich fans give me jip for that. Bits' words, not mine, and we thank him. He's in the God tier on Patreon, and you can get involved on Patreon as well. And honestly, it sounds like hyperbole and blowing smoke up your backside, but for the likes of me and Knappers, it's an absolute godsend trying to do this. Very, very hard to make any money whatsoever, so we really appreciate that. So Knappers, just very, very briefly, every time a goal goes in for or against Fleetwood, you're getting either buried or we're saying he's going to be jumping about on my super stream. You had a fun one on Saturday with Fleetwood. Just quickly before we start on our teams.
Yeah, obviously it was same old story going 1-0 down. It was a good goal from them, but defensively, all over the place. And to get back in it and to go, 2-1 up with 10 to go, I thought, we were the better side taking off. I'm thinking, come on now, This is the time where we need a win. We've got a few tough games coming up. And then we just give them a goal. Alfie Mayo, I said, was terrific all game. And they scored 2-2, 87 minutes. Sickening. And to go down the other end, it should be a penalty on Callum Moore. It's a stonewall penalty. And then Morris, who runs down the wing for me. I've been singing his name for the last six weeks on repeat. Come through the youth academy, scores the win in the last minute. It's unbelievable. And the feeling after that win was probably one of the best you're going to get. And I think there's been a huge sigh of relief in the whole dressing room. But, a good win, a start of things to come, but a great win. And
look at that down there. Fleetwood 19th, Ipswich 20th.
Personally,
start the count.
I've started something with COVID. I think Sheffield Wednesday fans might agree with me here. It's too dangerous to carry on the season.
There you go. Bits, too kind, mate. Remember, any super chats that come in here, we'll split them in half here. Iain, great video, Ben v Cheltenham. That's you, Knappers. Really showed the emotion of being a fan. Hey, I might go to a game one day. Right, October, I reckon I'll be back. There we go. Right, you saw the table. Let's have a look at the results. Remember, our 5 teams on Dearly Departed League One edition. Across the top there, Wycombe Wednesday, Rotherham Wigan, and Charlton. We'll go through all their games. We'll just bang through the results. It was Rotherham 0, Wednesday 2, Bolton 2, Oxford 1, Cambridge 3, Burton 0. Burton could have gone top if they'd won that. Charlton 0, Wigan 2. That's a Dearly Departed derby. Obviously, so was Rotherham Wednesday. Crew 0, Stanley 1, Doncaster 0, Pompey 0. Pompey could have gone top if they'd have won that one as well. Fleetwood 3, Cheltenham 2. So go and check out Knappers' vlog on that one. Ipswich lost to Cheltenham, didn't they? Pathetic. Gillingham 2, Morecambe 1. Although I don't know anyone's heard from Steve Evans since midweek. All not well there. Ipswich 2, MK Dons 2. Ipswich managing to keep up their record of conceding 2 goals every single game. Shrewsbury 0, Plymouth 3, Sunderland 1, Wimbledon 0, Wycombe 1, Lincoln 0. So our first game going from the top downwards is that big Dearly Departed derby, big Yorkshire derby, South Yorkshire derby, whatever you want to call it. Rotherham 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Get involved in the comments. Hands up if you're at the game as well. We love to hear from you. A big one, Knappers, and I've got some pictures actually. Hinged a little bit, possibly, on a missed penalty in first half stoppage time. Sadly, it's a good save, actually. Peacock Farrell over to his right, and that game looks very different if that goes in. Into the second half. Florian Canberry with the tap-in. Absolutely laid on a plate for him by that big hulk of man, Callum Patterson. And then, oh dear, from one very good bit of goalkeeping to one not very good bit of goalkeeping. A bit of the old butterfingers for Johansson in the Rotherham goal there. Lee Gregory sticks it in. I'll go to the table before you get your comments, Knappers. Wednesday are top. They nailed the 9-point game week. They haven't conceded a goal. And, moreover, that leaves Rotherham in 11th. Get your comments in on that one, guys. And Knappers, Rotherham 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Yeah, obviously, I said it was going to be a 1-0 Wednesday win. I thought it'd be very tight, and, it very nearly was that. I thought Rotherham are a side that, you know what you're going to get. Not much change in them. They play that back three with the central midfielder, CDM in front. The back threes would be, Ward, Ikwe and Harding. Very consistent normally. But they ran into an animal, really, a tiger at the end of the day that, are just hard to stop at the moment. A very good team. They've got the fans behind them. Probably got a better team than last year. And they're on a good run. Momentum is everything in football, and they got that. And they went away, a derby game. They're always tougher to get a clean sheet, save a penalty as well. I do feel sorry for Sadler, the lad that missed it. He's not had the run of the mill, really, at Rotherham. He was very good at Doncaster, but he's just not really had it. He scored a very good goal in pre-season for them, but I feel for him. But again, you look at the 2 goals, very well played. Lee Gregory, he scored 2 goals from 2 tap-ins. Yes, it's not the greatest, but that's what Wednesday needed. I said against us, they just needed someone to put the chances away. The simple ones in the box. Gregory gets into the right area. He'll score 20+ goals this year. Great win for Wednesday.
Let's have a look at the numbers. Rotherham fans will be annoyed with this, though. Look, 14 shots to 7, 55-45 on the possession. 8 corners to 0 often tells you a bit about territory. But look, 3 big chances to 2 in Wednesday's favour. So for you XG lovers, and like Knappers was just pointing out the penalty box. Alex was there, Knappers. The fans are all on board, and the toxicity, good word, is finally gone. Iain, I bet he was there as well, wasn't he? The result these Owls really hurt. It was bound to after being the better side in the first half. That would concur with those metrics, wouldn't it? Wednesday ramped it up second half. Deservedly won, although it breaks my heart. We'll come on to Wigan in a minute, T&C Gaming. Hang in there. This was Wednesday's First really big test. Bit disrespectful to Fleetwood, that, isn't it? Knappers.
I'd say the test. So I think Charlton. I think it's harsh on Charlton. Yeah, they haven't started great yet, but they played a decent Charlton side. I think if you're doing the type of test, your Charlton's kind of your mock GCSEs. Doncaster's kind of your little exams before high school, and Fleetwood is probably your year 6 stats results. Yeah, I know what you mean, but no, it's they've shown that they can beat the smaller teams who are going to sit in, whereas Rotherham, they want to go up. They want the same thing as Wednesday. They're going to attack, so it would leave gaps to those attacking and the explosive players in your Barry Bannons, and then your Gregories and your Kambaris, those types of players to go and do what they do best.
Rotherham away, not easy. Echoes of Ipswich when they came down, getting off to a great start. Well, in Ipswich's case, it didn't continue it. So Wednesday, I hope it continues. Jez, felt a bit sorry for Johansson not to. So it was but I mean, Knappers is right. Gregory pounced on it well. If he hadn't have been there, Johansson can just pull that ball back in. Mark, don't fall in love with a lone player. Already love Bailey, Peacock, Farrell. Don't fall in love with a winger either. Lots of Ipswich fans telling me about Kyle Edwards. Never fall in love with a winger. They'll only let you down, won't they? Something telling me it's our year. Nice lot of confidence amongst the Wednesday fans. Good news, isn't it? In talks with Mendes Lang as well. Imagine him getting League One to help the push. Yeah, he hasn't played in sort of a year after, allegedly whatever happened ever happened over at Cardiff. Darren Morris, the fans on side. Frightening things, Wednesday can play a lot better. Yeah. So, Wednesday, top. 0 conceded. Rotherham. I mean, look, if you're gonna be 11th, having won 2 games is probably the way to do it, isn't it? Showing they're more than capable as well. Right, let's move on. Knappers and Wycombe are also on 10 points, and they had a 1-0 win over, as I always call them, last season's losing playoff finalists Lincoln City. Early goal in this one. You were bigging up Sam Vokes the past couple of weeks. With service like this from Abita, he'll score plenty. Easy one there. I don't know. Hard to say whether the keeper should come or go or stick or twist or whatever, but sometimes you just have to give credit to a decent cross in there. Wycombe go on and get the win, as you'd imagine in this game. Less possession than Lincoln. Look at that shots on target stat, Knappers. 1 shot on target in the game for Wycombe from 16. Conceded 2 big chances to 1. Looks like they had the run of it in the penalty box, but you'd still... I know those numbers never tell us game state where someone scores early and then they can change the way they're playing because they're leading, but looks like a bit of an annoying one if you're a Lincoln fan. Wycombe starting well, keeping Gareth Ainsworth, keeping the momentum. What do you think on that one, Knappers? Wycombe 1, Lincoln 0.
Yeah, obviously I said Lincoln a couple of weeks ago at Sinsel Bank, and I thought they were very poor first half, second half. The fans spurred them on, and again didn't get the rub of the mill against Bolton. But Wycombe are a tough side. They're second or third best team in the league, in my opinion. Hard to break down. Good age of the team, good back line, good strikers, good youth in midfield as well. So again, a great goal. Vokes gets in front of the goalkeeper. A young goalkeeper against an experienced striker. I think maybe won the duel that day. But again, Vokes is that type of player that can cause you problems in many ways than just scoring goals. So again, Wycombe, good win, clean sheet. And up the table they go. I don't think they're going to win many games pretty. They're not going to do it the way Wednesday can maybe do it, or the Wigans, or Portsmouth, Sunderland are going to do it. But they will grind out results. It'll be hard to beat. And nobody will want to play Little Wycombe Wanderers this year.
Alex, I mean, look, we said this last year in the Championship, their squad's aging. They've brought it down a little bit, I guess, with some of the signings. But hey, we will see how fatigue kicks in. Iain. Sorry, I'm not sure. Alexa, shut up. Great win for the Chair Boys. Every time, Knappers, every time. I can see a lot of 1-0 wins for Wycombe, hard to score against.
twice in the UK was won by Craig Eddy.
What is that all about? Deary me. Yeah, hard to score and grind out results, especially at home as well. Connor agrees with you. Sam Vokes, a great striker for this level. Bits, I feel Wycombe will go back up. Certainly looking decent at the moment for sure. That is 3 of our teams done. And the other 2 played each other. So nice and neat today for sure, isn't it? And it was in the dearly departed derby, Charlton, who are, according to the league table, actually worse than Ipswich, incredibly. Charlton 0, Wigan 2. You can see there, a couple of late goals, Derikwa and James McLean, who's a good player for this level. Beautiful pass through by Humphreys for that goal. Let's have a look at the screenshots. And fair dues to Derikwa, because he could have got his teeth kicked out on that one, couldn't he? Brian Robson style header there on the back post. But in the 88th minute, you'll stick your head in there. And I've got to say, Knappers, this is a brilliant goal by McLean. Superb ball through by Humphreys, splits the defence. And look, he's done him. Keeper on the edge of the area. Open goal, slides it into the net. He's always been a good player, McLean, hasn't he? Let's quickly look at the numbers before you come in. Knappers looks like a really viable win, that, doesn't it? Beat them on the possession, 13 shots to 7, 4-1 on target, 3 big chances to 1. Stack those numbers up, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win the game, aren't you? What do you think, Knappers? Charlton 0, Wigan 2.
Yeah, obviously I watched, a few highlights of the game, and Wigan were very, very good. Those 4 shots on target, McGoldrick made 3 or 4 excellent saves. So Wigan very unfortunate not to, go that goal. And Charlton had a small chance, and Wigan could have been, down on the luck or done by why it's not gone our way. But they go like a good teams do and find a way. Derikwa, very good player. I liked him a lot last year. I think he's probably one of the better right backs in this league. He never gets talked about. I would have had him at Fleetwood. I loved him at Chesterfield. I thought he was
good at. He was at Forest, wasn't he?
He was, yes, a very good player.
Quite good at Forest with Karanka, wasn't it? Go on, Ben. Sorry.
Absolutely, he's got some great experience. And then obviously that Stephen Humphreys. I've said. I think I said last year, we need a big lump striker to lump the ball up. Stephen Humphreys is perfect. He's done it at Southend and Rochdale in 2 struggling sides. Now he's in a side that have got these good players that he can, like a Harry Kane-esque role, drop deep and then play balls like that in behind. And James McLean got legs on him, goes round the goalkeeper and puts it in. It's not an easy finish as it looks at. Under pressure, last minute, seal the game. Good composure, 2-0, and it's a result Wigan really needed to really kind of set an approval saying, look, that Thursday defeat to Sunderland's over. We got on a good run. They went through in the cup the other day as well. So, I like Wigan, but Charlton, pathetic, poor. Honestly,
can we give them, Knappers, can we give them the caveat of having hard games to begin the season, or is that too many now?
I think you've got to say at the end of the day, they've had 4 games, and it's very early on in the season, and it's still going to be difficult. And they have played, Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford, and Wigan in the 3 of the first 4 games. It is a tough run. MK Dons the other one. They're not no slouches, are they? But you've got to play everyone twice. You've got to be prepared. You've got to be ready for battle. And I know they've had ownership problems, but they've been prepared to fail because the squad wasn't good enough to go into the season. I know they've added Elliot Lee today, who's been okay at Luton and now coming at Charlton. Had a spell at Blackpool as well, so he knows his level. But they're far from ready. I said they've strengthened well, but they're still 3 or 4 men short. And while they're like that, they're going to be nowhere near the top 6. The other 4 teams on your screen are much better than them. They've got much better depth. And while they have that, they're going to have better resources and they're going to do better this season. It's simple. They need to get the hand in the pocket, bring some players in if they want to go up this year, because it's the only way.
And we can sit here as well and say Charlton have had a hard start. Wigan have played Sunderland, Rotherham, Wycombe, and Charlton. So they've had a much harder start, Wigan, haven't they? So we can't, on the one hand, say Charlton have had a hard start and they've got 1 point, when Wigan have sat there with 7 with those tricky old fixtures as well. What happened between Iain Everett? Do you know that? Knappers, Iain Everett and James McGoldrick? I don't know, some kind of fallout there.
I saw something, they were squaring up or something. Put it this way, I wouldn't mind, I'd pay money to watch that, you know. Iain Everett, you know, a bit of an odd character, but again, he was a very good defender and hard as nails back in the day. For, you know,
McLean always gets himself in scrapes, doesn't he, as well?
McLean's always a busybody and will always talk, so, you know.
Iain, Wigan, very impressive so far, though. We should have got a point over there. Was that the one where they won late? I can't remember. Jack Wilshere to Wigan. Jack Wilshere's been linked to a lot of clubs, isn't he? Superb player for about 30 minutes per week, but bless him, poor guy can't get himself fit. You won't see a player with a better sort of first touch and ability to receive a ball. But if he can only play for 30 minutes, I don't know where he's going to get picked up. Surprised by everyone's early confidence in Charlton. Not very similar players. I don't think that helps the flow of the play. Love seeing Kel Watts doing well at Wigan, says Adrian. If Wigan take a punt on Wilshere with his wages, would prove to me club hasn't learned from previous financial mistakes. Different regime, Iain, isn't it? They would argue that they're not responsible for those mistakes, but you may well be right if they well, it'd have to be a very carefully written contract. Whoever takes Jack Wilshere. Look, there's Mr. Dorr. Knappers, tell him you're okay.
I'm okay, Dorr. Thanks, mate.
There you go. Bring Jack Wilshere home to Luton. Is Jack Wilshere from Luton, is he? I don't know. Elliot Lee has finally left. Just feels as good as going up. Oh, right. Okay. Popular at Luton then, is he? Thought Charlton would have done more in this transfer window. One more here. Thought Charlton would be a more settled side now. All the off-field problems are subsiding. You can certainly argue that. Right. Let's look ahead to round 5. And I will scroll around here and bring up the fixtures, although they are ticking along the bottom. Let us know what you think of this weekend. You can see our teams there. Sheffield Wednesday up there in first on 10. Wycombe just a goal behind on the goal difference there, also on 10 in second place. Look down to 9th and you'll find Wigan on 7. Rotherham on 11, 2 wins. 11th place, 2 wins, 2 defeats. And Charlton in 21st. And just for a bit of fun, because we always mention them, Knappers Fleetwood 19th and my Ipswich 20th. Yeah, let's move on from that. Let's have a look at the fixtures then for round 5. And we better talk about Wednesday first, who go off to Morecambe. Simples, Knappers, right? Isn't it? Another clean sheet, another win. Morecambe 6th in the league, back-to-back. 16th in the league, back-to-back defeats. Do you see Wednesday going into international break number 1, which does exist in League One, actually? Undefeated?
Yeah, I certainly believe so. But Morecambe are a side that won't roll over. You know, they're hard to beat. Yeah, they conceded 4 the other day to Preston, but they've got a good character, they've got a good belief. They don't, you know, bow down, which I really, really like about them. And will make it difficult. You've got to remember when Sheffield Wednesday are visiting teams, it's going to be like their cup final. Morecambe's first time in League One, playing Sheffield Wednesday. If they can beat them, it'll probably be one of their greatest results. You know, they're probably the top 5 or 10 at least. So they'll be wanting to do that. You know, a good crowd there at home, but Wednesday will pack out the away end. They'll probably pack out miles away on a Wednesday night. They're that mad, the Wednesday supporters. But on the pitch, I think they'll have enough quality. I think Morecambe have struggled in the last 2 games. I just think they just lack that little bit of extra spice. Wednesday are on a good run, and I think it's going to be hard to stop. I think the international break is a kicker for them because I think this would be a good time to go and get 6 or 7 consecutive wins and get a bit of a points gap ahead of yourself. Just like what Hull did at the start, kind of the end of last year.
We've been enjoying Cole Stockton on the Saturday Super Stream. Is that a potential feather in the cap for Morecambe then? They might have a guy who can score them 15. It'll certainly be a feather in the cap if he scores them 50. 15 to sort of 20 goals. That can be the difference in bottom 4 and bottom 8, can't it?
Absolutely. These Morecambe fans started calling him Goal Stockton. He's been on that much, of a good run. He didn't. I think he only scored 13 or 14 last year in League Two when they got promoted. But his influence on the team was huge. Held up the ball, won fouls, brought others into play, and his roles changed a bit more now. He's got into the box, trying to kind of get on the end of crosses, trying to make any chances for himself. And I think he will go on a good run. It reminds me of Callum Campbell last year for Fleetwood. He scored 8 in the first 9 games and then scored 2 in the last 31. So I just hope for Morecambe fans that isn't the sake. But they have got a talisman there and something to hit. But again, a very good player, adds more than goals, which is important. But they've got a lot of good players, Morecambe, when you look at it. Him, Wes MacDonald, Sam Lavelle at the back, Cooney as well. I know they've had a few goalkeeper issues at the moment, but they've got a very good side, decent manager, and they'll give Wednesday a game. I did put it Morecambe to go down, but I can see them staying up as well.
Alex says, confident for the Morecambe game. Played yesterday, and we've had a full week's rest. Shadipo back from injury. Nat says 2-0 Wednesday. Iain, Morecambe will give Wednesday a game, but Wednesday will overcome them narrowly. Any more on Wednesday, Morecambe? Confident the Owls can roll over Morecambe. Another clean sheet would be nice too. What else have we got? Cole the goal. Oh, it's Dominic Iorfa signed his contract as well. There we go. Right, next one up is an interesting one. I'm very interested to see what you think of this one, Knappers, because Wycombe visit Sunderland, which, for whatever derision that gets, is a hard game, isn't it? You can see Sunderland just 1 point below Wycombe there. The only defeat coming at Burton. So I think, 6 points from the home games so far for Sunderland is the maximum. This looks like a good matchup, doesn't it? Get your thoughts in. Sunderland versus Wycombe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Knappers?
Again, Wycombe going to Sunderland with a point to prove, because Sunderland fans were fuming that they got into the playoffs, instead of them. So, Wycombe have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. They're not expected to kind of go to Sunderland and win. Yes, they won the Championship last year, and there is that little bit of pressure to get into the playoffs and challenge. But when you look at the budgets and even the wages, Sunderland will be miles clear. There's going to be 30,000, fans on Sunderland's side. It's going to be 30,000 against 11, basically. So I reckon Wycombe will go there with nothing to fear and get at least a point. It wouldn't surprise me. I think Sunderland are, they're a good side. They got through against a good Blackpool side in the week. Aidan O'Brien scored a hat-trick. So, he'll be relishing on that. Stewart scoring goals as well. So, those who don't score, where a goal's going to come from. When I look at Wycombe, I think Vogt and Kai, I think McCleary, I think Akinfenwa, I think Pendlebury. That's just 5 players. There's a lot more to name. So Wycombe have an exciting squad, and I think Wycombe will go with nothing to fear and get something.
And see what you guys say in the comments. 1-1. A few people landing on a draw here. Alex says Wycombe can sneak a 1-0. I think Rob agrees with you a little bit, Knappers. I mean, you actually identified the lack of scorers, or they're in. Iain, Sunderland have McGeady final, Citizens overcome Wycombe. Can't see them doing it. 0-0 all over it. Draw, Sunderland, the old draw kings. What about Wigan? Another tasty one, this one. Is I keep thinking it's just this week or whatever, but it's every week in League One. We've lined up all of these teams who we think are going to be in the top half and challenging. We get some really juicy fixtures every week, and it is Wigan whose start doesn't really get any easier because they're going to be playing Pompey. Pompey obviously above them in the table. Let us know your thoughts on this one then. Wigan v Pompey. If Wigan can get through these first 6-7 games around 5th to 8th place, they're going to be so well positioned, aren't they? Pompey dropping their first points of the season in the last game, 0-0 against Doncaster. You can see, like Sheffield Wednesday as well, Pompey haven't conceded a single goal this season. Looks like a very difficult, very low-scoring game, doesn't it, Knappers? What are your thoughts? And everybody in the comments, please, Wigan versus Pompey.
Yeah, obviously Liam Richardson used to be obviously assistant manager at Portsmouth. A lot of that squad now disappeared. They've still got, likes of Lee Brown still there. I think was there in his time. No, he wasn't actually. I forget I said that. No, but still got a lot of good players, Portsmouth, that they've kept hold of, but they've added to. Yeah, they were unlucky last week against Doncaster. Missed a penalty, but a clean sheet on the road against a side that yet to win a point. It's always a tough one. Always kind of, you don't want to be the first to lose against them. So they got away with that. 10 points. Officially, you want to get about 75 points to get into the playoff. Already they've chalked off the first 10. Now it's getting to the 20-point mark. So that's a good barrier for Portsmouth. And they'll be pleased with it. But Wigan, I like them a lot. I like the squad. You could see the atmosphere and the crowd, the pictures the other day when they beat Bolton on penalties. It meant so much to them, and that'll give them a lift. I think it could be an entertaining Wigan winning this one. I think Portsmouth, if you can get at them, what I saw at them, if you get really at them and put attacking players and really kind of get in the faces and be nasty, you could get a result against them.
Nat in the chat, 0-0, bringing up Pompey's excellent defence there. Alex thinks 2-2. Lots of draws on this one. Wigan, tough start indeed. We've raised, haven't we, Pompey to nick a 1-0. Wigan, Jess, we're all over the place on this one. We can't get a consensus here. Wigan win, says Iain. Pompey have started well, but to me, are massively overhyped. Another 2-2, a 1-1. Pompey showing signs of awakening. Fancy them to win this. We are all over the place on that one, Knappers. I can't call it as well. Good thing I'm just hosting today and I don't have to. There we go. Right. What are Rotherham up to this round? It's Doncaster for Rotherham. So another sort of Yorkshire-ish derby type situation. And are they at home? Sorry, I'm just reading the crawler. Yeah, another home game for Rotherham. Who you'd probably make favourites to bounce back in this one. Doncaster had a horrible start. That was their first point of the season, actually, against Pompey. Let us know what you think in the chat. Rotherham against Doncaster. I think Rotherham are going to simplistically bounce back after the disappointment against Wednesday, Knappers?
No. I don't rate the Doncaster team a lot, if I'm honest with you. I think it lacks quality. I think it lacks goals. I don't see real any quality, barring a couple. I don't see any leaders, like you said about it all the time. Whereas Rotherham, I don't see them as flair. I see them as being solid, hard to beat, and will score goals. That's what I see Rotherham as. So it's going to be an interesting game, but it's a derby. 1,500 Doncaster fans travelling up. I think Rotherham will have this, 2 or 3-0.
Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I think the chat agrees with you, Knappers. I think we're most together on this one, and a Rotherham home win. 2-0 says Nat. So does Adrian, and he agrees. Wellens needs a draw, says Rob. Can he get one? Iain, who will no doubt be at the game, says 2-0. Yeah, everyone's kind of Jez, Don Ram. Everyone's, apart from Bits, but hey, he sponsors the show now, so we're not allowed to disagree with him, are we? Oh, we can. I think a fairly simple one, but hey, it has a habit of fooling us, doesn't it? Finally, Charlton versus Crewe, and this is 21st versus 22nd. And if you bring up the table, they've got very similar looking records there, haven't they? Charlton and Crewe, drawing on the opening day, 3 defeats since, 1 point. Both of them have got -4 on the goal difference. Is this the first Charlton win of the season then, Knappers? And let us know what you think in the comments. It is Charlton versus Crewe at the Valley.
I think it's an opportunity being in front of your home crowd. If you want to be a good side, you want to win 70% of your games at home and then draw 10 to 20% of them. You don't really want to be losing more than 4 or 5 games if you want to go at home. And Crewe have struggled. This screams a Charlie Kirk masterclass against his former club that he's just signed from.
Did he play in the last game? I don't think he did he?
Yeah,
he did.
He had a chance. I think he had their main chance against Wigan. But again, when he's given service, Charlie Kirk is a very good player. So it'll be interesting to see how the game goes on. But Crewe aren't a bad side.
Yeah, you're right. He started. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Owen Dale wants to leave the football club as well. One of the Crewe star men. Blackpool, according to Al Nixon on Twitter, have offered a £500,000 bid. Crewe want around about $1 million. They've lost the star assets this year, Crewe, and not replaced. Kane Ramsey's come in. I think Charlton are stronger. I think they'll edge you a 1-0 win, and I don't think Nigel Atkins, Sanson, the owner, the Charlton fans will care as long as they win that game of football and they're away from the relegation drop zone. I think they'll be fine on Saturday evening, come 5 o'clock.
I can see them working their way up kind of gradually now through the autumn after the bad start. 6 point, it is. You can't argue with that. 21st versus 22nd. 1-0 Charlton says nah. Bits agrees a Charlton win. Couple of draws in there. Another Charlton win. Potentially a coupon buster. Yeah, Crewe will be long odds on this one. Charlton off the mark here. Sadly, I fear for Alex and Artel. Always try to play the right way. Charlton to win comfortably. I think I saw Gab Sutton is going to have an interview with David Artel. So check that one out. Gab's always good value. That should be pretty decent. I think we are there for our League One bits and bobs this week. Let's do some Q&A. Any questions for Knappers, or I'll just ask him about COVID. But yeah, get any questions in. I don't know whether you want to hear about this. We talk about anything. You can ask us about Fleetwood and Ipswich now as well. Now we've done the dearly departed bits and bobs. So get your questions in. I'll do a couple of quick plugs. Please hit like, whichever platform you're watching on. Helps us out massively. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. 19,000 subscribers over here now. Thank you for your super chats, etc. As ever, we always say on this show, we only cover 5 teams here. If you want to hear about all 24, where can you hear about the Knappers?
Over on my channel, CODS Vlogs, CODS Vlogs, VLOGS. I talk about League One on the whole. Again, a lot more League One content coming again next week. We do live streams, talk about it. And I think we're just under 60 subscribers now, away from the big 7,000 subscriber mark.
Get in there.
Hoping to hit it very soon. I think I would have hit it over this weekend around if I could have gone to the game, but unfortunately I can't. So hopefully we get as near as possible to that 7,000 subscriber mark.
Get him up there, guys. Go and hit subscribe. Obviously, Knappers comes on and supports me. I couldn't do this show without him. I don't know the first thing about League One compared to him. I know about Ipswich, and that's just about it. So please do go and reward him with if you're one of my subscribers, go and subscribe over there and get him over that 7,000 hump. What do we always say, Knappers? Doesn't even matter whether you use the subscribe. Just go and hit the button, for goodness sake. It helps out, doesn't it? Let's do some questions then. I'll take that. Thoughts on Bamford in the England squad? Look, he had to put him in because the Leeds fans would have lynched him before the season was ended. In the end, it's good to see him in there, and I hope they get a look at him, and whether or not he gets on the pitch or kicks a ball in a friendly at any point, I don't know. But I think they needed to acknowledge his good season last year. Iain says, losing Michael Smith, real terrifying prospect, an integral part of the way we play. Potentially irreplaceable? Obviously, there's lots of links with Kiefer Moore going out from Cardiff to Wolves, and is he then going to come? Is McCarthy then going to go for Michael Smith? Warnock wanted him as well. Did you think he's irreplaceable then? I mean, I would never argue with Iain about Rotherham. What do you think, Knappers?
Irreplaceable to Rotherham, 100%, because what he adds to them, like I say, each Poo does, like Vokes does, like Cole Stockton does, huge for their football clubs, holding the ball up, bringing others into play, little flick-ons, buying free kicks, scoring goals, that big presence. So I think he's huge for them. And again, if they got $500,000 for him, who they're going to get for $500,000 that's better than Michael Smith? I'm not going to get a ridiculous amount of money that's better than Michael Smith. So I really agree with that. He's a good player. I like him a lot. I'd put him in the top 5 or 10 strikers in this league. I think he has it all.
There's a bit of S-housery for you. Good job I updated my antivirus. Behave. Shocking. Knappers, any League One managers, players? Can you get anyone on soon to talk to?
I'm hoping so, but I'm going to try and look into it, see if I can get anyone on, but not at the moment.
Yeah, let us know if you want any Ipswich content. We can probably help. Alex, do you reckon any of the promoted sides will go down? All 4 started decently, and I reckon all could have got all 4 surviving. Should we bring the table up, Knappers? Promoted sides. Where are they at the moment? Cheltenham 18th, Morecambe 16th. Where's Cambridge? 12th.
Cambridge are just above.
Bolton 7th. How many stay up then? Go on, give us a number.
1.
He's gone in 2-footed there. You love to see it. Brilliant stuff. As an Oldham fan, give me some hope, says Rob. There's always hope, Rob. I know it doesn't seem great. I'm sure you've seen, there's a book by a journalist, Mike someone or other, about the Joe Royle days. So I'm sure you've bought that book already. We had Joe Royle at Ipswich and he was amazing. As well, the football was amazing anyway. But yeah, go and read that book if you want cheering up. But yeah, not great times there. Adverhack. Do you think Cook will be having any talks about the start with the owners starting to get sticky for him? Possibly. There was an interesting picture the other day of Mike O'Leary, Mark Ashton and Paul Cook having a little powwow. In terms of the owners, you would think, Knappers, that would be 15, 20 games in rather than 4, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to remember, I know Oxford weren't always kind of expected to be up there, but there are a couple that got to the playoffs the previous year expected to be in around the top 6, top 8, top 10. They only won 4 of the first 16 games. I think they drew the other 4 and lost 8. Then they won, I think it was something like 17 out the last 30. Blackpool did, I think, won 23 out the last 33 games, 34 games, something like that. It's incredible. So you've got to give managers time when you've had a huge turnover. It will go on a run. They've got enough attacking flair. They've got a good defender in. In 10 games' time, if they're still like this, maybe have a look at it. But right now, 4 games in. 4 games is form. 4 games. We're nothing into the season yet.
Yeah, we look at the form table and it's always 6 games, isn't it? So you couldn't even fill a form table yet, even though their form is rubbish, obviously. I love these Blackpool comparisons, though. That's great. I'll take that all day long, the Blackpool comparisons. Thoughts on Charlton bad start? Can they get promoted? I certainly think they can ride around that bad start. Depends how far they get cut adrift. Because you almost look at it and say, it's 8 points already, isn't it? You have to play well for, probably 10 rounds to catch it up and solidify up the other end. What do you see the Charlton trajectory being like, Knappers?
A slow burner. They'll get better as it goes on. They'll add a bit of quality. I doubt that this time next week they'll still have the same squad. Still the same number of plays in it. They'll have 2 or 3 different plays in if they've got any sense. If not, I dread for them. But if they will and they want to be ambitious, I think you know they've got the quality to go on good runs at times, steady the ship at times, and go to these big teams and get results.
Can Wednesday do a Sheffield United promotion plus promotion? I think we may be getting ahead of ourselves here a little bit after 4 games in League One. Remember, Sheffield United was promotion mid-table promotion, wasn't it? They didn't go back to back, but I don't want to pour scorn or rain on Prince Will Gamers parade there, but I would concentrate, I think, on, like you said, getting to 70, 75 points and then going for automatic promotion first before thinking anything else, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But as a fan, you've got to have that believe in you. That's what I always say. I always go believe. You know, we're a football fan. You know, we're back at ground. You can, you know, have these dreams. I think it is a dream, if I'm honest with you. But I think you've got to focus on getting out of League One before you talk about getting out of the Championship. You know, League One, you've seen it, but you've got to go to these tougher teams, you know, where the pitches are horrible, where you can't play your total football, where teams are going to get stuck into you from minute one. I think you're going to find it harder at times. I think you'll get out of it, but I think then you've got to go into the Championship and get to 50 points. Get to 50 points, then get to 60 points, then start focusing on can we enter the top 6. So I think it's a long while off, but, you know, believe.
Can I twist this question around? It says first manager to get the sack, which is always a hard one, and how soon? Let me, sorry, Alice, I'm going to re-ask your question. You know how mental the Championship is? Do you think Knappers will get a sacking in the Championship before we get one in League One? I don't really see anybody. We all know if Chris Hughton loses Forest versus Derby 3-4-0, there'll be an absolute campaign for him to be. Do you think we'll get Championship firing before a League One?
When I look at the Championship, kind of the bottom teams down there, I don't, you know, Blackpool won't get rid of theirs. Preston just giving, I think, a 3-year contract. Forest will probably get rid sooner rather than later. They're looking League One, the teams down there. Shrewsbury won't get rid of Cotterill. Doncaster won't get rid of Wellens, just coming in, really. I'd probably say the Championship. I think if Hughton doesn't win on Saturday, I think he'll get sacked, personally. So, I'd like you said, I remember you said in your Championship show, where, I think before the season, it is normally the first international break a manager gets sacked. So, I think we could see 1 or 2 get sacked this weekend.
Yeah, it's normally the trigger-happy owners in the first one, and then there's always a few. I've got the date up here, actually. October the 9th and 10th. That's the real one you want to get past, isn't it? Without without being down towards the bottom. Will Luton be back in the wonders of League One in the next 5 years? Both your opinions. Some people think we'll be near the playoffs, mid-table. Some people, no. I look at the Championship and I see plenty of clubs that run way worse than Luton do, and I think they've been quite a good example for League One teams. I don't see Luton back in League One anytime soon. Do you, Knappers?
No, they've got a manager happy to be there. You know, went to Stoke, didn't work out, come back. Starting to get the fans back on side now. You know, playing exciting brand of football, score goals of football. Forget the Birmingham result. That happens. 1 in 100 games, it's going to happen. You're going to have a day off. It was inexcusable. I get that. But I like them. They're fun to watch. You know, they're an odd bunch. But, you know, they've got some good players. And, again, like you said, they're sustainable, good owners, good players. They back. They keep the better players. If they sell someone, they replace. And they don't splash the cash as well. So they'll be more than fine. I look at the Championship table. I think there's 9 or 10 sides that could go down inside of them in the next 3 or 4 years.
Agreed. Yeah, that's a good point by Iain. That Steve Evans could be the one, couldn't he? There's been all sorts of to-ing and throwing with that one this week. Right, guys, I think that will do us. Now, I want you to do something for me in the chat. Give your appreciation to Knappers, who's ragged COVID, bless him, right now as we speak. And he's come on. He's done the stream. He hasn't missed the week. I'd miss a week for a broken fingernail, wouldn't I? Deary me, diva that I am. So let Knappers know your thanks for his efforts today, and certainly I really, really appreciate that. Oh, I keep forgetting to bring this up. Hope you both win your respective FCA awards. You both deserve it. What category are you in, Knappers? I'm in like one with Arsenal Fan TV or something. I've got no chance.
I'm in best football league content creator.
Nice.
Which, you know, I didn't think I'd get in, but I've made the final 10, so I'm over the moon. But you know, it's and I've been in the final the last 2 years, so I want to go there and win something. You know, Fleetwood aren't going to win much this year, so let's hope we can win something. All
a bit of fun and certainly good for the exposure. But yeah, of course, if you go on either of our Twitters, we've no doubt retweeted the tweet that you can just copy and paste, and of course we're in different categories, so you don't have to choose one of us. You can vote for both of us as well. Right. Cheers, Knappers. Get well soon, Knappers. Yeah, hit that subscribe button on him. Thank you, Iain. Don Ram. Knappers is a legend. Barnsley fans love him since the Johnston paint semi. There we go. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure he'll tell me off air. Thank you, Alex, and thank you for all your backing. Yeah. Lovely. Who is this guy, Rob, in the chat? Rob, getting the time out. Your last 8 comments have been very, very negative, my friend. You don't know him, do you? We don't.
Oh yeah, he comes on mine.
Oh, does he? Oh, well, he's not going to come on mine anymore because I just blocked him. So there we go. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching on that bombshell of a blocking. And it's a big over and out from me. Say goodbye, Knappers.
Goodbye, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.